And we're back here on Cowboys Weekend, presented by Forest Park Medical Center. I'm Chase Williams, Lindsay Cash, and we want this show to rock, so of course, we have to have Nate Newton. Nate, let's get into the Cowboys offense and how they plan to attack this Saints defense. You talked about a big key here. This Cowboys offense, they can't get in a 21-point hole again when it comes to playing the Saints.
You know, the last 2 or 3 games, Chase, we have been turning the ball over by fumble or we've been throwing interception. I mean, against the 49ers, you saw what happened. Well, we're facing a team that can spread you out over the field offensively, so we can't fall 7 to 12 points down because this team can hurt us. And with fumbles and interceptions, we don't have those type weapons. We have Dez, we have Witten, we have the good running back, but we don't have people to just spread you all over. So they defense can concentrate and take some people out of the game.
Nate, last week with the victory over the Rams, Tony Romo got his 21st come-from-behind victory. That's the most in franchise history, and it was also the biggest comeback in franchise history. A win is a win, I understand that, but what is this comeback label that the Cowboys have? Do you think they kind of need to get away from that, trying to be the comeback kids every week?
They should get away from Miss Cash. They should try to lead a game, especially against a good New Orleans offensive team that they have. You got to get out in front of them. You got to make them play catch-up ball. You got to make them one-dimensional. Now, what they did last year, and I may be jumping the gun here, but they did last year, they took Dez out of the game. They put a safety in a corner on top of him. They can't do that this year. We got a run game. When you have a run game, you got to decide whether you want that safety on Dez or you want that safety to stop DeMarco Murray. And I think this year, if we can get in there and score first or keep the game close, they're going to have to put that safety in the box. And when they put that safety in the box, Dez can take off.
And by scoring, I know you mean touchdowns and not just Dan Bailey field goals. I know you love kickers. I love kickers. I love Dan Bailey.
Your twin brother. I mean, that guy, he's good, but we don't need him in trying to decide this game.
Last week, I know you had an issue with Romo not practicing on Wednesday. Following you on Twitter during the game when he threw that pick six, you said practice, practice, practice. Now he sat out again on Wednesday. Have you kind of softened your stance on Tony Romo because of the comeback that he did lead in the second half and he marched the team down the field?
No. I understand that they changed the practice schedule a little bit. I understand that they put more insulation in on Thursdays than they do back in the day on Wednesdays. But Tony has to practice because I want him to be able to work through the soreness. Because in a game when you get hit, you got to know the difference between whether you're sore or injured. And if you never work through that soreness, you don't never know if you're injured or not. So once he works through the soreness and get a few more games in, then I soften my stance on the Wednesday deal. Practice. Now, more important, perfect practice makes you have better games.
I love that slogan, Nate. The Saints right now, though, are allowing 30 points on the road, and you did touch on it earlier. Last year, they were the ones that doubled Dez up on the line.
Right.
Do you see the Cowboys offense really trying to use the momentum DeMarco Murray has, or maybe start gashing them on the outside with Dez and Terrence?
You know what? Last year when they did that, they said you can't run the ball, and you can't throw the ball to other receivers because we got you covered one-on-one. Well, this year here, I know Terrence Williams is a better receiver. You know Jason Witten is dependable. And DeMarco Murray, if he don't put the ball on the ground and we don't have no turnovers, if we can get 2 turnovers, we win this game. But if we put the ball on the ground with 2 turnovers, you go back and check their record, they will hurt you.
Quickly, before we get out of here, you know Rob Ryan and Sean Payton have had this game circled on their calendar since the schedule came out. How much do you think that plays a factor into this game as they make their return to Dallas?
You know, if they're competitive, and I know they are, these 2 guys, Sean Payton is friends with Mr. Jones, personal friends, so he wanted to get one up on him, and Rob didn't leave the way he wanted to leave. You know what? And he beat us last year at their place, but you know what? You come in here now, Rob. We going to deal with you. I mean, we going to deal with you.
You guaranteeing a win?
No, I'm guaranteeing that we're going to play hard and not give up the ball on turnovers.
That's weak, Nate. You're supposed to bring the heat here.
Nah, I don't want to put any more pressure on Mo Claiborne than I have to.
There we go, Nate. Good job.
All right, for Nate Newton, Lindsay Cash, I'm Chase Williams. We'll see you next Sunday right here on Cowboys Weekend, presented by Forest Park Medical Center.